Well, hello from Sebastian, Florida. Sebastian's just a little bit north of Vero Beach, and I'm just chilling with Murphy, having some lunch, doing some studying, and realizing how much work is left to go on support raising. But it is a beautiful day. I'll give it that. Nice cool breeze sitting on the Indian River. Thought about going out to the beach, but I figured with the people still here, trying to get their last days in, that might be a little difficult. So not doing that today. Just want to talk a little bit about what's in store for Lisa and I. We're going to be sharing some of this in the newsletter coming up. But the first thing is we put a date of September 22nd is the week that we move. We're not sure if it's September 22nd or the 23rd, 24th, whatever, just yet. A lot of that have to do with availability, tickets, things like that. Housing would be good. So we would ask that if you would take a moment just to lift up our housing needs in prayer. But we have had people tell us, don't worry about that. God's already got it. And we believe that. But he also called us to be good stewards, right? Not to be dumb with his resources and also our time. But today I just had to get out of the office for a little while. I spent a tremendous amount of time yesterday finishing up some letters going out to churches and all that good stuff, only to find out, in the grand scheme of things, Lisa and I are about 30-40% of our total goal. And that's based loosely on a very generous budget. We could go over right now, but we would be very limited to what we could do. And also, if there were any issues with support, we'd be in deep trouble. And we're, again, called to be good stewards with what God gives us. And part of that is having a brain on our shoulders and in our heads so that we don't put ourselves in a situation where it's bad, right? So we're still looking to get 30-40% more before we really sign, seal, and deliver. And also, let me just say this, there's a big difference between getting pledges and collecting. We've collected a considerable amount, which has been very, very helpful. A lot of the people that have given one-time gifts have fully funded the trips to Birmingham, fully funded the trip that I'm taking to Dublin here in about 3 weeks, and then also helped pay for a lot of the legal costs that it took to make God's Not Dead a nonprofit organization. So all in all, I think we've raised like $4,000, which is fantastic. Now we're raising money to make our move and rent a house or an apartment, whatever we can do when we get there. And that's going to be a big part of it. Sorry, I just kicked Murphy in the booty. He's sitting under my feet. But I would ask you this. I've been hesitant on this. There's a couple things I want to share. One's kind of exciting. The other one is not so much. When me and Lisa decided to do this mission trip and answer God's call to plant a church in Scotland, we stepped out in faith big time. Selling our business. Lisa's going to be leaving her job soon. Probably not for a few months, but leaving her job soon. And then we're going to be packing up the house, what we're taking with us, selling off everything else, and making the move to Scotland. And so it's going to be very interesting. But when we started, we made a list. I put about 114 names on there. Lisa added probably 10 or 15. And it's grown a little bit as people have referred a few people here and there. But honestly, we're still short. We have about 17 actual supporters at this point that are actually paying. We have about 14 people that say they want to do something, but they don't know what, which means that they're uncommitted. That could be $10 a month or it could be $1,000 a month. We don't know. And so we're faithfully waiting for those folks to pray about it and to make a decision on what they want to do. And it would be phenomenal if that was the end of it, if we just hit our goal. And but I'll say this too, God has been so good in this whole thing. Like, we had somebody say, "Hey, we want to give $500 a month," and then out of the blue, they sent us a thing saying, "Hey, we got your video. We love what you're doing. We want to up our amount from 500 to 750 a month." And that was mind blowing for somebody that's never had to raise funds for themselves, especially, and to have such a burning desire for somebody to be so generous with their resources. I remember very vividly sitting at my desk with tears running down my face and just having an awesome attitude of gratitude. And not so much for the person that is donating the $750 a month. Don't get me wrong, we're grateful. But it was more about God just confirming, I got this. So the last thing I want to do is make this a video of like, oh, we're desperate. We're not. God's got this. From the very beginning, he has this. And to the end, he has this. What we've tried to do to our very best to just honor. And one of the things that he's asked us to do is to continue raising support until we get to a goal where we can function and live and do effective ministry and to prepare to plant a church in Inverness. So that's what we're doing. What I would ask you to do is, if we've asked you or spoke with you, which I'm sure if you see this video, we probably have, then you would probably refer somebody that you think might have a heart for Scotland or what we're doing. That'd be much appreciated, because frankly, the list that we have is starting to become exhaustive. Meaning I've contacted just about everybody on the list at least 3 or 4 times. Now I'm getting to a point where I want to save friendships, and I'm just telling people like, hey, look, this is the last time I'll ask you. And if there's no reply, I just put down as a no. The second thing I want to talk about really quick, which I think is really cool, and I have been debating on this for a while, but you know what? Actually thinking about this, I'm going to make a second video here in a second. So scratch that whole second topic. The other side of this coin that I'd like to talk to you about just really quick is, if you've been on the fence and you haven't made a decision to donate, I would ask you to go to our website, godsnotdead.org. That's GODSKNOTDEAD.org/donate. And just take a look at it. Pray about it. Maybe God will speak to you right then. Signing up for our website is super, super simple. It gives you access to change your settings and change your amounts and all sorts of good stuff. So, but yeah, if that doesn't work for you, if you know anybody that would like to join us and that you could refer, let us know. God bless.